In this tutorial, you will learn to create strategies, add tasks, and assign them to customers. Then you will see how to create actions. Go in the Strategies and Task Group section. Strategies make it possible to automate the customer's dunning and/or its organization of the collection. The strategies depend on the typology of the customer. There are two types of strategies: the chronological strategy and task group. The chronological strategy works in a way that the actions chain in a chronological way from the lead invoice. The task group works in a way that the actions are triggered by a specific date. For example, we can create a chronological strategy. The number of levels is the number of tasks in the strategy. Then, choose the lead invoice and reference date from which the strategy will start. Once you have created a strategy or a task group, you should define its task. To do this, you have to enter the task list by clicking on this icon. Here, we are entering a chronological strategy. You can see this strategy has 8 collection levels. At one day of the reference date, a semi-automatic email will be sent. And at 7 days from this first action, an action will be planned in the agenda. We can resume the task in 3 categories. First, the automatic tasks are performed without an intervention of the user. Then, the semi-automatic tasks have to be validated by the user in the edit console before they are performed automatically. The actions and alerts will send a reminder in the user's agenda, so he performs the action by himself. In this column, you see that some actions have templates. Those templates are integrated in the automatic and semi-automatic strategy, so they can be sent automatically to the customer. You can choose a collection minimum value. It's the amount below which the action will not be triggered. If an action is blocking, the collection level will not increase until the task is completed. Now we will create an action for the strategy. For example, we can choose a semi-automatic action. As an example, we will create a sales intervention task. Add the delay at which the action will be triggered. Choose the model of the email. Add a subject, the sender, and his email. Then define the rules. For example, we can decide that this task will apply when the customer has an invoice that is categorized as a dispute, and an invoice that is more than 50 days past due. Let's add a collection minimum amount, a recipient, and if the action is blocking or not. Task group work in the same way. The only exception is that the tasks are initiated by a trigger. Let's enter an existing task group. You can see that there are no levels. The task is triggered on a specific date. For example, this task will be performed the 15th of every month. Once you have created your strategy or your task group, and that you have added tasks, you will need to assign customers to it. Go in the Strategies and Task Group Assignment section. When you create an assignment, you have to choose whether you are creating it for a chronological strategy or a task group. Fill the form. Here, you choose the strategy for which you create the assignment, a priority, and a frequency. Then choose who the strategy will apply to. For example, we can assign the strategy to all VIP customers outside the US. Now we will see how to create actions and alerts. The actions and alerts are the reminders that appear in the agenda of the risk or collection module. You can create actions for accounts or items. Click on the plus sign to see the details of the action. Let's create an action for an item. For example, create a broken promise action. Drag the category for which the action will be available. Once the action is created, you define the action or the alert in the task cover strategy. For example, let's enter a task group and create an agenda action. Here, you can see that we can choose the broken promise as the action to do. Therefore, this task will appear in the user's agenda when the invoice meets the rules as we define them. This video is now finished. Go in the next one to learn how to operate templates.